Hi, everyone. Welcome to Eclectics Presents. I'm Gwen Black, and I'm your host. And it is my pleasure to welcome to the show the acclaimed musical theater actress, singer, dancer, among many other talents, the wonderful Miss Vivian Reed. Miss Reed has been dazzling audiences with her talent since 1968. She is a multi-award winning actress and singer with Tony Award nominations, a Drama Desk Award, Theater World Award, Outer Critics Circle Award, Dance Education of America Award, and the NAACP Award, among so many others. She has recorded several albums on Epic Records and United Artists Records, and she has received critical acclaim in major productions such as Bubbling Brown Sugar, Sophisticated Ladies, Roar of the Green Paint, Smell of the Crowd, Blues in the Night, Don't Bother Me, I Can't Cope, to name a few. Welcome to the show, Miss Vivian Reed. It is such a pleasure.
Thank you, Gwen. Great to be here.
What inspired you to pursue a career in theater and entertainment?
Well, I guess it starts from when I was very young. My mother said that she told my dad, I think our daughter's going to be a singer because she said I was, her words, making melodious tones. And so when I got like maybe around 6 years old, they took me to a place called the Pittsburgh Musical Institute to see a lady by the name of Mrs. Romaine Russell. And she said I was too young and to bring me back at 8. So at age 8, I started studying voice and gave my first concert with my father when I was 13. And by that point, I could sing in 3 languages. And then after high school, I went to Juilliard in New York. When I got to New York, I had just turned 17. And then was in Juilliard for about 3 years. And then I got a contract with Epic Records. It's one thing to be gifted, but it's a whole nother thing to work on that gift, because if you don't, it means nothing. I think sometimes people in our business think they're entitled. You work at it, and then if you're fortunate and you have some good people behind you and you're at the right place at the right time, then maybe. Because greatness or what you achieve in this business, it's all relative. It's what the goals that you set for yourself. No, I was just saying that the thing is to be ready whenever. And to be ready, that means that you have to work on your craft.
And that's why they call it show business.
There you go. Someone told me recently, it actually was about 2 people who sent me messages on Facebook and told me that they thought that my 2 best albums were my most recent albums that had been released in the last, I would say, probably 10 years. And I said, really? And I said, why is that? They said, because everything seemed to be in place, like your voice and the production. And they were the 2 albums that I had produced. Can you believe that?
I love the East and I love the West, the North and South, oh baby, they are the best. But I only want to go there as a guest, 'cause I love being here with you. Never stop the music, just let the dance go on and on.
It's when Danny Holgate, the musical director who passed away a few years ago, miss him so much, but he called me up to invite me to a party that he was having, and I told him that I would come to the party, and then I said, well, what are you doing? And so he said that he was doing this little show called Bubbling Brown Sugar. He told me it was, songs written by black composers and going back in time. I said, well, get me an audition.
Georgia named her, Georgia claimed her, sweet Georgia Brown. No God made us got a shade on, sweet Georgia Brown. Truly
and went about creating the role. Now, to God Bless the Child, when Danny had given me a list of songs, and we're going down through this list, and when it got to God Bless the Child, I said, I'm not singing that song. And he said, why not? And I said, well, I have to do it my way, you know, and I don't sing it the way most people are accustomed to hearing it.
So the Bible said, and it still is news. Mama may hate, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. Yes, the strong gets more, while the weak ones face empty pockets don't ever make the grade. 'Cause your mama may have, and your papa may have, bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Oh, money, you've got lots of friends. Oh, they come crowding round your door. Your mama may have, ooh, Papa may have, but God bless the child. Oh, that's got his own. Oh, God bless the child that's got his own.
Every song that I do in any show that I create is a song that I love and will have its own production value. I do not do throwaway. And what do I mean by that? Oh, let me sing this song so I can kind of relax and rest here for a minute until my big number comes. No, I don't I don't do that. You know, every song has value in my show, and there's a lot of narrative in my show.
And what about If You Believe? What show was that from?
That's from The Wiz, Believe in Yourself, from The Wiz by Charles Smalls. And when I did a concert version of The Wiz at 54 Below, they told me I could pick whatever song that I wanted, and I chose If You Believe or Believe in Yourself. It goes by either title.
Yes.
And I always rearrange everything. I don't do any arrangement like you're accustomed to hearing. I always go back and put my stamp on it. So I just grew to love that song because of the message that you have to believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you don't, no one else will. So that song has been in my repertoire a lot. And it's in the Lena Horne show that I created, and in the Standards and More show. And I absolutely do love that song. Great song.
believe that you know that no one can change the path that you must go. Believe what you feel and know it's right, because the time will come around when you can say it's yours. Believe that there's a reason to be. Believe you can make time stand still, and know from the moment you try, if you believe, I know you will. Believe in yourself right from the start. Believe in the magic that's inside your heart. Believe all these things, but because I told you so. But believe in yourself as I believe in you. No one can change the path that you must go. Oh, the time will come around when you can say it's yours. Believe that there's a reason to be. Believe you can make time stand still. Oh, from the moment you try, you believe in yourself right from the start. Believe in that magic that's inside your heart. Believe all these things, not because I told you so. But believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. It's all believing.
To me, whether it's theater, whether it's nightclubs, even in the recording studio, you have to believe in what you're singing in order for the listener to believe. You have to know what you're singing about. And I'm a big believer in lyrics. I love lyrics and I love delivering them. It's got to be a connection. I created a new show called Little Bit of Pop, A Little Bit of Soul, and I debuted it at the Green Room last year. So when we're up and running again, I want to do that show again, because I do my shows, when I create them, I would say at least 6, 7, 8 times, or wherever I'm asked to do them, in whatever part of the country I'm asked. So that will definitely be on the agenda, but it depends.
Yes.
You know, my agenda depends on where we are with this virus, and I want everybody to be safe. Please wear a mask when you go out, because had we done that, I think from the beginning we would be at a different place
Yes, we would.
today. God has truly blessed me because show business is not easy. It's hard. That's why I tell a lot of people coming into it, just make sure that you love it, because there are more downs than there are ups. And you have to have a good support system, and hopefully your parents, some of your relatives are behind what you do. And then you have to put in the work, but you can't come into this business thinking that it is successful all the time. And also, like I said earlier on, success is relative. It's the goals that you set for yourself. But I have achieved a lot, and I'm so grateful for God, number one, keeping my voice, because people are amazed that I can still sing the way I sing. So I thank God for that. I thank God for everything, all the blessings that He has bestowed upon me.
And I'm so glad you mentioned Lena Horne, because when Lena was a young girl, she actually lived in Pittsburgh. Her
Yes.
ties.
She lived there for 4 years in a marriage that she wasn't really thrilled about, because she wanted to go out and do her show and continue
Yeah.
singing. And
Yeah.
so it was my pleasure to create a show for her centennial. She would have been, or she turned 100 and would have been 100, celebrating that birthday in 2017. She was born in 1917, June 30th. And now is about the Constitution and pulling yourself together, getting together collectively to fight for what you want, fight for what you believe in. And I was so nervous that I wouldn't find a song, because in the Lena Horne show, they had to be songs that she had sung, that she had recorded. And I wasn't finding the song. And then finally, I'm sitting in a car still listening to her songs, and the song came up, and it said, "Now is the moment, now." I said, "Oh God, please let this be a song that I could put in for about her activism," and it was.
Yes, and it was. Look at
And
that.
then the show was complete. I had finished it.
Right, and
Yeah.
and that's so important. It's like when you create a piece of art or you put together a show, everything has to just be
It
everything has
has to
to
be
line
there. It
up.
has to be right. I mean, certainly her life was immense and the things that she had gone through. But the one thing I could not leave out was her fighting for civil rights, and not only the civil rights of her people, but for all people. She was an activist big time. And
Yes.
that had to be a part of the show that I was creating. So I had to find the right song, and I found it.
If those historic gentlemen came back today, Jefferson, Washington, and Lincoln, and Walter Cronkite put them on Channel 2 to find out what they were thinking, I'm sure they'd say, "Thanks for quoting us so much, but we don't want to take a bow. Enough with the quoting, put those words into action, and we mean action now."
That's amazing. But I'm just going to just share also, her father was active in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And if you remember the story of Gus Greenlee,
Mm-hmm.
who owned the Homestead,
Yes.
the Homestead Braves, and he was the founder of the Crawford Grill.
Yes.
They were
Crawford
helping,
Grill. Oh my God. Yes.
yes, and they were helping Black people
Mm-hmm.
buy homes in
Yes.
Pittsburgh, because the banks were redlining and would not, give Blacks the opportunity to
Yes.
purchase homes. So
Mhm.
Lena Horne's father working with Gus Greenlee, and they
Yeah.
made it happen. So I'm sure her activism, runs really, really deep.
Ran deep in the family. And, where would we be without her father, without
Yes.
Lena, without people like her, without Martin Luther King, without Reverend Al, without all of these people who are activists, because certainly we have had to overcome so much,
Yes.
in 401 years. And I think it's incumbent upon us, and I'm just going to say this once, please go out and vote.
Please.
On November 3rd, please, whatever you do, vote.
So, but it's important, you know, for you, myself, artists who produce.
Yes.
Produce.
Yes.
Don't wait for someone to say, it's okay. I like what you're doing.
Well, this is why I went about, for me, producing my own shows, because you're right. You cannot, and especially since the climate of Broadway has changed, you cannot wait for somebody to come knocking on your door, because 9 times out of 10, they're not going to knock.
No.
They're not going to knock. So you have to create your own projects. You really have to do it. And you have to put in the homework. You just can't put anything together. Make sure, right. I always have the audience in mind. That I always have them. And I try to put myself in their position. What would I like to see? What would I like to hear from that artist, from the artist up on stage? What do I want them to tell me?
It's been fabulous. And looking at your repertoire, I mean, it's just amazing.
You know, there's something else, Forever Young. I don't know if y'all, I think y'all have that. Forever Young I was doing a series of TV specials for the RAI, which is a big network in Italy. And one of the songs that they suggested that I sing was Forever Young. So that was my first time hearing that song. And I just fell in love with that song for what it said lyrically. So when my mother and father celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary, I sang it at their anniversary, their wedding anniversary. And it is a song that I have loved down through the years.
Let your hands always be busy, your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation, there's a changing shift. Let your heart always be joyful, your song always be sung, and may you stay forever young, forever young, forever young, oh, forever young.
You are a delight. This has been wonderful.
Yeah, same here, Vivian. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Move out of the way. You can have my husband, but don't mess with my man. You can hope we've learned a little lesson here. Especially you. Honey, keep your eyes on this. I want you all